got itself into a routine that pays dividends. It gets the starling every night. Now, we've been saying throughout the programme, and many of you don't need telling, that being out in nature can have a profound effect on your well-being, can give you a sense of being uplifted. But what about just watching nature? What about watching it, say, now, as you are on Winterwatch, or on the internet, or on your device? Could that have a similar effect? Well, certainly worth exploring. And I'm pleased to say that there is research taking place at the University of Exeter by Alex Smalley, a psychologist there, and he's looking at the positive benefits of just watching nature virtually. And a couple of days ago, I asked him some questions about that research. Here's what he said. Alex, at the moment this is probably particularly pertinent as people are locked down. They're spending a lot more time indoors than out. So getting a virtual fix of wildlife could be really beneficial to them at this time.
I think you're exactly right, Chris. And when we initially started out with this kind of research, understanding responses to virtual nature, we were very much thinking about people who might be, say, in long-term care and can't get outside, or for people recovering from, say, major surgery and are stuck in quite clinical settings. Over the last year, we've all had an insight into what that feels like when we can't get out into nature. And so trying to understand a bit more at a sort of population level, I think is really important.
I think what some people might find very surprising initially is that your work now suggests that we don't actually have to be out in nature. We can actually get similar benefits through watching it virtually, digitally.
That's right. What we're finding now is that if we view these digital encounters, watching nature on TV, online, as actually therapeutic tools in their own right, there could be something in that to help us bring the benefits of the outdoors to people who can't otherwise get outside.
And are there certain aspects of that nature which are more rewarding than others? I mean, we've known for a long time that if we sit down alongside pools of water or go for walks by the sea, that very often that can provide a calming influence to our lives. So have you managed to identify little elements of nature which we should focus upon?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The presence of water, what we call blue space, spending time next to lakes, canals, rivers, seems really important. But also this sort of role of biodiversity. People notice when species richness is increased, where there's flora and fauna that people can recognise, watch and respond to. And I'm really interested also in the sort of range of geological features and what we'd call these sort of fleeting experiences in nature, things like sunrises and sunsets, things which can really come to define a person's encounter.
On our watches, we've been running these mindfulness moments where we have about 90 seconds, a cameo of a place, and we found that our audience is entranced by these. They become very popular very quickly. Does that surprise you?
No, it doesn't at all, actually, and it sort of harks back to some of the ideas that I think that underpin our responses to nature. There's one school of thought that kind of says, well, actually, we evolved in natural environments. We should have an innate, a biophilic preference for viewing them, for spending time in them. There's also another camp that says, actually, you know what? There are qualities that are inherent in nature, things which can capture our fascination, hold our attention, and help those parts of our brain which might be stressed out or tired after a long day to recover. And I think the kind of mindful moments is doing exactly that, is allowing people a little bit of escape and a little bit of a chance to pause.
Your research is ongoing, obviously, but do you think at some stage in the future there's a chance that people might be prescribed, quite literally prescribed, doses of virtual nature in order to improve the quality of their lives?
I very much hope so. And I think when we think about these experiences of nature at home, sometimes they can be very passive. A lot of people, if they have a view, might find themselves gazing out of a window. Other people might be opening that window and tuning into the blackbird on a rooftop. But of course, other people are already watching programs like Winterwatch, like Blue Planet, like Planet Earth to get their nature fix. But we don't really understand the kind of emotional reactions and how therapeutic these kinds of experiences can be. So we're really interested to find out more about that.
Alex, thank you very much for that. I'm pleased to say that Alex's research is informing a new initiative that the BBC have taken on board. It's called BBC Soundscapes for Wellbeing. And there are soundscapes and lots of natural sounds that you can access via BBC Sounds. Details are on our website, of course. And this will feed back into Alex's experiment called the Virtual Nature Experiment. And we've got a number of people who've contributed those soundscapes. Chris Watson, the legendary wildlife sound recordist, has done one, and so has Nainita Desai. She's a composer for movies, a great repertoire of work that she has there too. And you can access these via the website and listen to them yourself.
Absolutely. The scientists would love you to get involved. If you go onto the website, there'll be questionnaires there. So you'll notice how you feel at the beginning, and then you have the opportunity to watch some films, listen to some soundscapes, even some soundscapes that you can create yourself, because the number of sounds available to you is actually doubled with this project. And then you can notice how you feel, fill in those questionnaires again. It will help scientists understand the effect of digital nature better, so that we can better help people who are refined to their homes or potentially hospitals. So a really fantastic resource there.
Brilliant stuff.
Now, of course, we all have our happy places.